Well, hello there, everybody watching this stream called A Tale of Dice. I have a name, and these three men together with me are named Charlie, Max, and Maxime. I thought I'd switch it up for this one time and not give myself a name, but instead give all of you a name.
Well, your name is actually in the screen, so you don't actually have to say your own name.
Fair enough. We are missing our feminine traits this day as Crystal
Hold up.
is away.
Charlie has many traits for himself.
Oh,
Don't worry.
my Oh my god!
I have plenty,
so
baby.
sorry. I am so sorry.
I'll see you
but,
in gay hell, buddy.
Do gay people go to hell? Okay, so we are missing Crystal today. She will be sorely missed, but she is already celebrating a little bit of a well-earned summer vacation. And before we get into anything else, some of you might already have heard that there is incredibly bad news for the stream of next week, as it will be off.
Yay.
I'm sorry.
It's
Just the
happening.
1 week.
Just
Just
one,
a-
a little small break. Small break.
We're going to take a small break indeed, and afterwards we will be back with a vengeance. We have a lot in store for all of you to get more people to the stream, to make the stream even better. I've got as a DM, I also got like a nice couple of projects. I actually have my own vacation for the coming 2 weeks. So yeah, like as soon as I planned my vacation, I was like, yes, I've got time to work. And I'm not sure if that's a very good thought to have, but it's there nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I love those thoughts. It's like, I just have a vacation to rest. Let me work.
Yeah, now I've got time to do stuff. Now, yeah, so the 16th we will be off on our own little adventures in the summer sun, but tonight...
Both Friday and
all
Sunday.
the Sundays afterwards... Oh yeah, we will be off the entire weekend. Good call, Max. But tonight... And the week after that, on the 23rd and Friday the 21st of August, we will be back and we will be sweating our freaking balls off. Because it's hot. It's very hot.
Yeah.
Like,
Very sweaty.
just wait to get like the forehead shinies up to a maximum, because it's going to get there very, very soon.
Well, you have
But we
to
will
max
survive,
it,
we will
so I
survive.
guess.
Yeah, I mixed my most fruity, girliest drink that I got, which transports me all the way to like a sunny beach somewhere without Corona. Every time I take a sip, so that's nice.
I've got
I hope all
lemonade.
y'all- Oh, very good. Hope all of y'all are also staying hydrated, because it's very important in this time. And I think that is all I have to say.
Yeah.
Except, of course, for one final thing, and that is a question that has been posed since time immemorial. Shall we play?
How you doing?
He's already
Bit of a
put
bit.
on the intro.
I just started it. Yeah, you guys just kept talking to each other. Like,
Are we back though?
yeah, we are.
We're back. We're back. Beautiful. So, last time we left off, our heroes, the members of the pack, had just concluded a very long and difficult quest. They had been sent out by a acquaintance of theirs, Violora Moran, a member of a guild called the Cerulean Circle, to search out a magical artifact, a sword that had the power to vanquish Shadow itself, that had been stolen in transit, and to return it to the guild, to which it belongs. However, after finding out that this sword was in the hands of hobgoblins, and retrieving it from these hobgoblins, things very quickly got a little bit hectic. As, although the guild did say that the sword belonged to them, different fey creatures that our party members had known before jumped up and proclaimed that the sword, called the Midsummer Blade, was an artifact created by them in their court to vanquish the shadows that they were battling right now. So with this beautiful blade in hand, our heroes were at a crossroads. Would they hand over the blade to the Cerulean Circle, as their assignment said? Would they steal the item and use it to battle the shadows side by side with these fey creatures? Or would they have their cake and eat it too, and walk up to the Cerulean Circle, try to break their contract, got into a new contract, and now can at least borrow the sword to vanquish the shadows here in this area, after which they need to return it, and after which they enter a new agreement, a pro bono assignment for the Cerulean Circle, as payment for their borrowing of the Midsummer Blade. And that's
Allison
where
basically died.
and that is where we pick up today's session. So let me just change the music a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, Allison's reputation didn't hold that well.
In the enclave of the Cerulean Circle, in the village of Dracena, the capital of civilization in these otherwise wild, untamed lands, there stands a small boardroom, where right now, Violora is heftily scribbling the last couple of notes in this new, very thick, very bulky, with small imprint contract. And eventually, as this young purple tiefling that you have begun to call a friend and an associate, as she has provided you with 2 missions now and also saved your ass a little bit for the Cerulean Circle, she eventually puts down her quill and exclaims, "Well, there you have it then. It seems that, for now at least, as long as you remain here within the boundaries of the Cragged Hills, you will be allowed to use the Midsummer Blade as you see fit. For the vanquishing of shadows, of course, and not for any vigilante or mercenary work. There are a lot of fine prints in these documents, so I would advise all of you to watch your toes a little bit."
Yeah, could I have a look at those fine prints?
Yes, of course. And I would assume that while these documents were written up, you were also like in the process of getting everything in order.
I wasn't.
No, Grakal was very, very bored, I think.
Iroh as well.
So,
And now-
do you have a little bit of an, like, are there some rough side notes, like, that we have to really small
Yeah,
print that
basically-
we have to pay attention to?
Basically, what the and I'm not going to actually write an entire contract for all you guys for this, because that's going to be a very big hassle and I got better stuff to do. But basically, as long as you remain within the Cragged Hills and you use the Midsummer Blade to combat the different categories of shadow creatures, that there's also like an appendix of all the different types of creatures that the Cerulean Circle knows of and that you can like combat in this endeavor. As long as you use it for those purposes and those purposes alone, you're allowed to remain here in these lands and combat the shadows. If for some reason, and there are a lot of different small fine prints, if for some reason the Cerulean Circle suspects that you are stretching time or are like trying to circumvent the actual purpose of you borrowing this weapon to, for example, keep it for your own devices, use it for your own research, whatsoever, then this becomes null and void, and you guys are, well, probably going to be hunted down and thrown into the brick because you just stole a magical artifact.
I have a small question about this fine print. What would happen if we were to, well, we have to stay in the Cragged Hills. Does that also include the Cragged Hills' version of the Feywild and the Shadowfell, or?
Yes. Sorry, that does not include. So you need to stay on the material plane.
Okay.
You can't just go ahead and travel to other planes in existence. It's going to be a big no on their
No fighting the Shadowfell in the Shadowfell.
I'm afraid not.
Okay. Well, shame. Then we have to pay attention to not getting sucked into a portal. Kind of makes sense.
I think we'll manage.
Like, don't just jump into portals. I think is a good rule to live by. Nevertheless.
Yeah.
So this means we can now go kill Shadow.
It means that you have a very precise but limited form of freedom to use with this blade, yes.
Question, the fine print. Are we the ones that have to use the blade, or can one of the Fae use the blade as well?
One of the Fae can use it, but you are responsible for the artifact. So the artifact can be used in these areas.
Okay, cool.
And you are responsible for its return after your thingies have been.
And paying very much attention to all this while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
One more question. Maybe. Can I ask?
I believe you can and you may.
Yes. Karkal draws the blade. And so it has a steel blade with a white glow around it, right?
Right now, it's not glowing. You have seen the blade glow, but it's not glowing on its own. Right now, what you are holding in your hands is this. The hilt itself is wrapped in white leather with like golden rings in between them for your fingers to actually like hold it tight. Although for you, it's not really fitting that well with your large dragonborn fingers. On top of that, there is a. It seems pure golden hilt in the form of 2 feathered wings on both sides, and then the actual blade begins, which is made of a pure white metal, and it like flows a little bit, like all these different small dents in it, which gives it the aesthetic of being a solid white flame. And
Nice.
on top of the hilt is a clear gem that you would recognize as a nice little pointed diamond.
Sweet.
The scabbard itself
Right,
is also made from this like beautiful white leather and like this almost like curling gold motif to actually give it like a solid structure like around the white leather to hold the sword in place. You have seen the sword glow before as Tazric the Drake Lord, the one that you decapitated and stole this sword from, did indeed have like some ways of making it glow. Quite bright.
Right. So then I'm interpreting it correctly. So I point the blade at Violora.
Mhm.
How does sword work? No
Yes.
glow.
Ah,
You have to
I
change
want
the-
glow. Oh,
there are many magical artifacts in this world, Grakal, and many of those need to be in tune with the forces of their wielder. This process of coming into tune with an item is called attunement. When you attune yourself, your own magical energy resonates with that of the item, and in so doing, there are some things that can be done with the item by exclaiming a few words or simply thinking it so.
all right. Then you can attune for me.
No, you can do that yourself.
I'll show you how, Grakal. It's not that difficult. You just have to
Grakal,
meditate with
Go
it.
ahead and make a perception check, Grakal.
That's a 3 plus a 7 is a 10. It was on such a nice 16, but then
Oh, in that case, you indeed look at the blade. It's a nice thing, but
Don't worry, Grakal.
all right. I
This will
look
be
over
fine.
at Allison and nod. Yes, Allison teach recall again. Shall do so. Then kill creatures of Madao. Thank you, Violora.
you're very welcome, Grakal. It seems that although this assignment has taken a little bit of a turn, I believe I can use it in my advantage within the guild.
Violora, when will the contract begin? Will it begin as this very moment, or will it begin tomorrow morning?
After you sign right here.
Do we have to sign
Wait.
today, or can we sign tomorrow morning? So we can basically have a day in the city as well.
Oh,
First
Allison, this-
assignment, then killing shadows.
Dracena
Or
is
how confused.
within the area of the Cragged Hills. We are still within the wilderness of the Cragged Hills, just in a bastion of civilization within these mountaintops.
Fair enough, but if we were to sign now, we only had a month, right? So we'd lose the day.
Fair enough. Then I will keep these documents on the lock and key. And afterwards, you can sign.
Thank you very much. Because I think the pack also deserves some rest for once.
Then what are your plans for this day?
Spend money.
Do you have any recommendations for some sightseeing, maybe?
Well, now, if you really want some sightseeing, I recommend leaving this city at once and going back into the wilderness from which you came. But if you are more wanting to explore what the town of Dracena has to offer, there are some interesting places.
I heard that it's mostly also business related. Very well inclined, right? Are there some alchemists around?
Yes, there is. Well, first off, if I were you, Allison, I would also just look around the marketplace at dawn, as most of the small different herbalists and alchemists set up their own little shops. However, there is one larger establishment here in the town itself. It's called Herbs and Vices. A little play on words, as you can see. It is specialized in all the different types of poisons that can be produced from the plants here, but also the ways of counteracting them, which is, I think, a little bit more up your alley.
It is.
I do not know of what kind of persuasion all of you are, but if you would like to acquire some substances that are, well, recreational in use, then Herbs and Vices also has a variety of those. All legal, of course, within the Empire.
Look at Iro.
Yes.
See him like bloom up, probably.
Yes.
No, but
I
next,
was going to learn something today.
I think today is a day for new experiences. Then, next to that,
I'm confused. Why are
Let's just
we-
say it like there are some herbs here that your shamans would probably also use, Kirko.
quite so.
Oh, like drink you gave when I spoke to great dragon god in sky, Kuranao.
Basically, but then for fun instead of having a specific purpose.
I can do both.
Well,
Very well.
there are also many people that find those kinds of experiences to be very educational, I guess. Next to that, as Racina is quite a lively town, there are many different shops for you to peruse if you would like so. Yeah. There are also, not a lot, but some mining facilities within the Cragged Hills. There is Cragged Creations, who has a quaint little shop here just down the street from the enclave of the Cerulean Circle in which we are standing now, that sells all kinds of different jewelry and, well, that sort of stuff. And a little bit, well, in line with the fake creatures that you are about to aid, there is Fairy Court Fashion, a very large store that houses all different types of, well, attire and the like.
Interesting.
Next to all of the different normal shops as well, you've probably also seen the large stables if you have acquired enough coin to actually acquire some mounts for yourself and your party. You're in quite a lively town here in Docina.
I just want to compliment you on making up store names on the run.
What do you mean on the run?
Good job. Seriously.
I've got a fucking town, dude. I've got a fucking town.
Oh,
It's got a
seriously?
tag, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. My
Yeah.
bad. I was
No,
just,
if I did this
impressed
on the
there.
fly, oh my god, I would be so good at improv.
Kragan Creations, Fairy Court Fashion. I love it.
Like, if you create a town, then it's good to have a couple of buildings in that town.
Yeah,
Maybe,
otherwise you would be like, oh, that one is called the blue store.
Yeah.
The red
called-
store.
It's called...
IKEA.
It's called like...
But this
I
is
feel
store
like
number
this
2.
is basically how Pokemon towns were created.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
let's,
most
let's-
definitely.
Do you have some plans for yourself right now?
I am just halfway through my working day here at the Enclave, but afterward, I am staying at the Roman Raven Inn. If you wish to join me in there for a nice little drink, perhaps we can meet up later tonight?
Yes. I think all of us would like that. Let's do it.
Oh, no, Allison! Read between the lines, man. Read between the lines.
Alice is perfectly aware. He's very aware of what's happening and he doesn't mind. Let's.
Then, as I said, I will put these documents away for now. I will bid you a very good day and enjoy your stay. Oh, if in this warm weather you, of course, need some refreshment, Dewgather Lake is just outside the gates.
Ah, that sounds great, actually. All right.
A lake to swim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
On your way through.
Big fish to find. Let us hunt, pack.
And Grakal almost enthusiastically and playfully charges out the door, like, poof. May I make a strength check, see if I dislodge it, or athletics?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Go ahead and make an
Yes!
athletics check.
Oh, that's, no. Grakal's holding back because that's only a 6. Plus 14 is 20.
As like the door slams open, all the sound of the scribbling at the other side of the building immediately stops for a second as this large dragon bull, dragon bull, yeah, that's what you are right now. This large dragon bull
This bald dragon.
Dragon Ball G.
is just bouldering through the entire vicinity. You run past the front desk where this small little goblin girl just instinctively just jumps under her desk for a second and then just looks as you run outside of it as the rest of the pack members slowly follow suit and exit Cerulean Circle Enclave.
Before, go ahead.
As
Aaron.
Grakal is charging out, Iroh's just comfortably walking after him, getting his fishing rod out because, well, we're going to go to a lake, so why not go fish?
Yeah,
Go fit.
your voice is still very cracked. Sorry for that, guys. Viewers.
We're
sorry
so
for
very sorry. I try my best.
that.
It's like a very tiny microphone.
Yeah, Iro has talked a lot in the couple of sessions before this one, as he was doing a lot of mischievous stuff, and for that, Iro now has a little bit of a throat problem.
As all of them leave, I just stand there for a little second, watch them. Well, it seems that they have no idea what the repercussions are of this. Oh,
No,
well.
they.
Hey, see you tonight.
Yes, I think all of the pack members have a very specific role to fulfill, Allison. I think these days are the days that you can shine a little bit.
Or fall off the throne. Well, see you tonight.
Have a good day.
You too. And I walk out as well.
All of you leave the establishment. Hannah also chimes up for a second. Guys, before we go off towards the lake, don't we have, like, fire rods to return?
We do. I was planning on basically asking him to come here. I'm not sure how
How
far.
you ask?
Well, I take out the button that I have. I basically just press this and tell him that we have his equipment and where he can find it. So,
That's like a good plan.
should I press it?
Are we not carrying it?
Maybe we should go out of town first.
Yeah, we could. We could meet up with him on the lake. I think that would be wiser. At least a little bit out of town.
Yes. Silly goblin, dangerous goblin is maybe better out town. Otherwise, maybe guard things, bad things, yes? Like
Yeah,
they
he might-
sometimes do with Grakal.
He might cause a bit of a ruckus here.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
What time of day is it, Walter?
Right now, it would be around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are there any shops open?
Most of them are open. And let me just give you a little bit of a view of where you guys are right now.
Alright. Do you guys mind if I just browse around a little bit as we walk to the lake?
Why not?
Whoop. This is the best drawing ever. So basically this is Dracena on the top of a hill, and then if you follow this road outside, you eventually go further and further to the south, have all of these different farmlands, and just as you exit like the hillside where the actual city is laid upon, you already get to Dewgather Lake. So it's like on the bottom of this hill, lies Dewgather Lake, and on the hill itself, they have built like this very large, very tall, olive drab wall with a large fort as the main fortification of this entire area. And underneath, you have like in the very bottom of this valley, the lake itself, and then in the rest of the valley, all the different types of farmlands and like fields where cattle is being kept, all that sort of stuff.
All right.
That's basically the area you guys are in right now.
Awesome. Allison's just gonna walk around the marketplace a little bit to fresh up his head, because he's still not
Yes.
All right.
really. Yeah. And what you guys also notice.
Is good, Allison.
What you guys also notice is that Allison is looking very tired all of a sudden. He's
To your previous question, Recall also replies, yes, will be much like travel. You always walk around. Allison, you happy?
happy. Why should I be happy?
I do
Well,
not know.
We got
Good
what we
hunt,
wanted.
killed many monsters. Bad goblin. Was a good fight.
And we get to use the sword still. So
Yes.
You don't have a clue about the consequences of our actions, do you?
Of course. Destroy many monsters. Bring forces of Badao back to Shadow Realm.
The political
Save
consequences.
world. World
political
will be saved.
nonsense.
Well, as long as you believe it's nonsense, I guess there's no consequence for you.
Yes, Iroh always say, political, schmolitical.
Precisely.
It is his catchphrase.
First time I heard it, but that's fine.
It will be
You
on my
haven't-
t-shirt.
Then you haven't been paying attention, Allison. I mean, come on. Like every 5
Political,
minutes, this
political.
guy.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it's about time that I tell you guys a little bit more about myself and where I hail from and how those things actually work around there. Maybe one day you will actually understand me. For now,
Maybe.
let's walk around the market for a little bit. I'm not gonna talk with this many ears around me.
Yes,
All right.
Iroh,
Yes.
how much power do we have?
Many. I think. I have to check real quick.
Do we
Yes.
actually have any cash? Like, we haven't really received any cash recently, have we? Only for the
I
spiders?
think we've mostly. I have like this feeling in the back of my mind that we've mostly been spending a lot
Yeah.
and not making it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, and that is entirely our fault. We've not really been, entrepreneurial
Yeah.
about these things.
And next to that-
Entrepreneurial.
And next to that, there were many places where hobgoblins kept gold, and many places in the previous questline where you could actually have earned a little bit of cash, but you missed all of them. You
Oh
missed all of
no,
them.
the money.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get a lot of gold from Nito.
Well,
I hope, right?
Wait,
Wasn't he gonna pay us?
I'm not sure
he
what.
was
I'm not
he
sure
was he was gonna pay you with his own knowledge.
Yeah.
He was
That's
a,
like,
he was a trader. He was a
that's
trader.
like giving a gift card.
No, he wanted to give an invention to us or something
Yeah.
like that.
Indeed.
Oh, okay. My bad.
We
And-
have
No, that's totally fair.
we have some power.
How
We have
much?
some spending power.
Aro, how much of this power can I use on new recipes? Because
So I
I
have
think that's
copper
very
laying
important.
around. But aside from that, how much would a recipe be?
Depends on the recipe.
Let me see.
I would very much like to extend my knowledge a little bit on this spectrum.
We could be spending so much less time on money and these things if Maxime was just straightforward for once.
Yeah.
How much would a
Indeed.
recipe be? I thought our DM had it already.
There we go. No, wait.
So it
I
can
thought I had it.
it can
but I did
range
not.
between a few silver and multiple hundreds of gold, but it really depends on the recipe. But
So we can buy some proper recipes, like 2 or 3 which are
There we go. So for you are level 6 right now, Allison. So that means that you could acquire the knowledge to create 6 level items. A 6 level formula would run you 13 gold pieces.
okay.
A 5th level 8 gold pieces. 4th level 5. 3rd level 3. 2nd level 2. 1st level 1, and a trivial 0 thing would only run you 5 silver.
Would it be?
I can give you 39 gold pieces.
Would 50 also
Ching.
suffice?
50 is more than I have.
Hmm.
More than half of what we have.
All right.
And it also
let's-
depends on what you can find here in the
yeah,
marketplace.
Let's see what we can find
All right.
before we discuss
So-
prices.
As you guys begin to frolic throughout Dracena. Dracena is laid out, as I showed you guys, on the top of this hill. And as soon as you actually get up the hillside, the large fortress is already immediately to your left, and you are meeting this large main square of the entire area. There is a church just on the other side of it, and this would also be one of, if not the main marketplace of Dracena. You have already on your way towards the enclave of the Cerulean Circle past 2 or 3 other small squares, with just a small square with 1 tree and a well to get water from, but also a somewhat larger one where a couple of stands were put up. So you get the idea that even if there is this main marketplace, it might also be a good thing to just make it round around town and see what else there is to offer. So with that, I would say go ahead and all 3 of you make a perception check. Let's see what you guys can find.
I would like to take my time on this.
Alright.
And you can.
Keep in mind, we still have some action going on in terms of hero points.
And I still
Um,
have 2 anti-luck, correct?
That's correct.
Ah,
And
good,
all
very good,
3 of
very good.
us have 1. Hannah has freaking 3.
She's not here though.
Morp.
I know, that's the fun part.
Dips.
All right.
That's not how that works, Maxime.
I have a very pleasant 31 with an actual
Ooh,
16.
goody. Nice. 31 for Allison.
29.
I have 7,
Nice. 7.
17 plus 7 is 24.
Nice.
Guys, look at all of you
Agricole rolled
rolling
high on
high.
Perception.
Very well, very well. So, let me get my correct
We all roll
documents here.
pretty high. I think I rolled the lowest on the die of you guys. Until
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ira, what's your you roll a 19 or something then?
Yeah, and my
Yeah.
perception is 10.
Yeah. Awesome.
Damn. Good job, guys. Good job. High rolls all around. So, Allison, as you begin to frolic throughout the entire vicinity of the area, you come across a couple of places where just small little knickknacks are sold, some of them a little bit herbs and spices, but nothing that actually catches your attention. Until eventually, at one stop of the road, there is this one salesman who, next to also sending you to Herbs and Vices, has a couple of nice things under his cart laying about. Let's see here. Those are. There we go. All right. What you can find here
Mm-hmm.
is. Let me just get the right thing here.
I agree, Ave. I
Mhm.
think that's a very nice image.
All right. So, first off, what he sells
Mm-hmm.
is a bundle of different small silver-like protrusions of fungus called lichen.
Mm-hmm.
You probably heard of lichen before. And as he begins to converse with you, he eventually calls them quicksilver lichens,
Oh.
who, as you remember, seem to ring a bell a little bit, because somewhere in your journey you've probably heard of the quicksilver mutagen, which could actually aid someone in all the different kinds of dexterous movements in exchange
Didn't
for
I
a little
have one
bit
of
of a a sacrifice in fortitude, so to say.
Yeah.
So you get a little
I
bit
have
less.
a Quicksilver potion. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
There you
one. Yeah, we do. Okay. How much would that one go? Because I could also distill the formula from the potion that we already have.
Yeah. That could also be done, indeed. So what you could at least do, you could at least like try and well, go ahead and make a herbalism check for me, real quick.
24.
24. All right, you're in luck, because as you are talking and conversing with this fellow, he's a little bit of an older man, and he's very enthusiastic of everything. Most importantly, because there is this elf with like very intrinsic armor and like very
Flamboyant.
out of this world, flamboyant indeed. So he's very keen on selling you anything he can. And as he does so, he begins to speak very, very much about this Quicksilver Lycian. And you, with your taking time as your elf, you are very patient with this babbling old man, getting everything that you hear and putting it to memory. And eventually, as he begins to speak more and more and more, you begin to think like, okay, I know enough to search for these things in the wild right now. So you don't have the formula to actually make Quicksilver mutagens from these Lycians, but at least you can now search for them in the wild on your own with
All
your
right.
31 on perception.
Awesome. Cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
So just getting the formula from the potion that we already have, and then I can just get some ingredients myself. Does he have anything
Yeah.
else? Because this is a
Um,
very good old jolly old man. I want to pay him for something.
Indeed. All right, because next to that, he also has one other thing, which is... There you go.
Is it the lower version, or is it a higher tier that he
No,
knows?
this is the only thing that he can sell you is the lower tier one.
Okay.
There we go. All right. As he begins also to tell you that while Herbs and Vices might also sell the formulas for this one, he has a better one. And he begins to tell you about this one herb called Birthwort. Excuse me. And he actually has a couple of threads on his small little cart hanging here by the side. Long straight vines with heart-shaped leaves, and the flowers are strong scented with tubes of green and brown. And as you look at them, you can already see like, oh, wait, I think I know what these things might be for. As he begins to continue to speak to you that these herbs can not only be used to get rid of poisons in your body, but it can also just be used to fortify yourself and aid in the healing process. And as such, he comes to you with two formulas for this one ingredient. One that can be used for simple antidotes, and other that can be used for simple elixirs of life.
Interesting. Okay, that's nice. Having a thing that can do both. That's great.
Mhm.
I'd like to have the formula for this one.
All right. So, well, there are two formulas,
Alright.
like to make each one of them.
Uh-huh.
However, because they are both just first level units, you only have to throw 2 gold pieces at this guy, and you got him.
All right,
Done.
done.
Blink.
Plum plum.
And with that, this old man is very happy that he just basically made $200 by just selling you a little bit of knowledge,
Yeah.
which is very nice.
Yeah, he's a good man. I don't
He's a good man.
mind giving him a little bit of
Ho,
cash,
ho, ho.
even though
And as he
Allison,
sends you,
as Allison walks off, like he's been trying to keep up his posture, etc. But as he walks off, his face basically falls down immediately. Like he's getting really tired.
tonight you're gonna have a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys continue walking through this beautiful establishment called Dracena, you also come across different types of shops.
I want to look specifically for, like, with my perception check, if that's okay. My eye is going to be caught by cool armor and cool animals. Keyword, cool.
As you, let me see.
All the notes.
There we go. I got this. So, as you walk through this township, eventually you begin to hear a sound that in this part of the world has become very much... you are becoming very acquainted with this sound. It is the sound of tinking metal. It is the sound of a hammer falling onto an anvil. And eventually, as you turn the corner, you can see where this sound hails from. And as you step out into this large walkway, you can see that on the other side of it, there are two forges in tandem, both spewing large plumes of black smoke as they are joined together in this very large wooden barn, completely set off by these large wooden barn doors. However, on the outside, you can see that on both of the sides there are also like two small tent cloths just draped over like the area, where underneath it there are like workbenches and of course also an anvil where you can see this middle-aged bloke with this short brown beard, soot and ash all through his hair. Like the summer sun is making him like sweat as a motherfucker. And the
Just
only
like
thing that
us.
he's actually wearing, exactly, yeah. The only thing that he's actually wearing is like these short trousers and this large leather apron and these large blacksmithing hand mittens as he's smacking away on what seems to be somewhat of a bladed weapon. However, what you can also see is that in this small courtyard that they had created, with like the large barn and then the two tent traps to the front, there are 3 different mannequins which display 3 beautiful sets of armor. A full plate armor set in the middle and 2 half plate armor sets on both sides, both in different designs. And on top of the barn, you can see this simple but elegant wooden sign that calls it Wild Walking Ironworks.
I dig it. Gurkal digs it too. So, not unlike Allison before. No, actually quite unlike Allison. Allison being pointedly and searching for something specific. Gurkal just goes, oh. And he kind of just deviates from the previous course right into that building.
All right. As you enter the small courtyard, you can see like the different sets of armor, and at that moment, the metal is pulled up, steam rising up, and as he lays down like this large bladed piece of metal, he takes off his mittens. He tries to actually like clean up his face a little bit, but the only thing that he does is like put a little bit of black throughout his entire face, and as he clops off his hands, this large man walks towards you and says, "Greetings. Looking for some new armor?"
I like this smell. I do not. Why do I like this smell? I did not know. No new armor. This armor good, but and Gurkal looks himself over. So he's wearing his full plate set that he looted a very long time ago and was refitted for him. He's got this large bear cape bundled up against the back. It's not actually rolled out, but it's more like rolled up like a sleeping mat, and a backpack hanging on his tail, kind of, or resting on it. But the armor's just effed up. Dents and scratches and acid splashes and penetrated mildly by arrows and burned by fire. Like this, Gurkal's taken a. If we were to add up the damage Gurkal took over the past few sessions, I feel like this armor is barely holding on. So Gurkal kind of looks himself over. He looks at his beautiful, now magical shield, I guess. I guess that's in a pretty good state.
Yeah.
Or not.
Like the magical enchantment also seems to keep it nice and shiny and clean, which is very nice.
Perfect. All right, so the contrast is jarring. And he looks back at the blacksmith, kind of just having this rare moment of self-reflection. No new armor. Gurkal won't like this armor, but not good enough, yes?
I'm not sure that I follow. You are in need of some repairs, perhaps.
Yes, and maybe add new ruin to armor.
like draw something of you. Yes?
Are you speaking of magical enchantments, or...
No. In my tribe, you are how Allison say? Artist?
Do you mean artist?
Yes, maybe. Person who
Right.
think and create pretty things. But pretty things also good for helping me live. Maybe you repair, then put something of you on there.
Well, step over here for a second.
Yes.
Tink, tink. And he begins to walk around you a little bit, size you up. How much corn are you willing to throw against this problem of yours for a little bit of customization?
2?
Iro says we have enough power. Coin.
Well, how much would it cost?
Well, depends on what you want, of course, but if you want to improve the aesthetic a little bit, what I'm thinking right here is you've got these beautiful spikes here on the back. Right now, those are exposed. We can try to fortify those a little bit and go with that theme. Here, these gauntlets, and he picks up your arm. Gauntlet. Strong craftsmanship right here. Probably made a little bit for punching as well. We have enough stability right here to also put some nice little points on there. And I'm thinking shoulders. Nah, shoulders need to be replaced. But we can also put some spikes on there. Make you a little bit more of a ferocious, spiny little bugger. What do you think?
Yes.
That sounds
Well,
pretty well.
I look back at Iro, just like, can I have it, Dad?
please, Daddy.
Well, first we have to let the man say the price.
Let's see. Just a moment. Tink. He opens up like the large barn door, and as he does, you can already see like this scrawny little boy like walking across the room with like a couple of bars of iron, then walk the other way, run back again with a couple of bars of iron, and eventually the blacksmith himself comes back out, lays down a couple of bars of iron, and just yanks you over a little bit, begins to see what kind of metal he could use, what kind of grade, how much like carbon is mixed with the iron to make it more steel-like, and eventually it comes to, all right, pretty high grade. We'll have to use good materials for that, but that shouldn't be a large problem. Repairs together with the customizations, make it 4 gold pieces, and you got yourself a deal.
4? Yeah, deal.
Very well.
4? But from now on, recall, great champion of Kurunau, savior of people in that other city, and destroyer of the Maddox, will be wearing your craftsmanship.
Go ahead
I
and make
think maybe
a
less.
go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
He's really been paying attention to Allison. I feel
yeah. I'm
this
very
is
proud of the call.
character development,
Yeah.
you guys, and it's a natural 4 that I'm gonna reroll using my hero point
Very
because
well.
I don't want to punish myself for this. So that's a natural 9. That's not much better for a total of 15.
Total of 15.
It's not a bad roll.
It's not a bad
Not
roll.
terrible. No.
It's not a bad roll, but
It's not great either. Yeah. I hear you.
Look, I don't know what to tell you, man. I have raw materials. I have to put in some hours. Price is 4 gold.
Very well. 4 gold it is, but better be worth it.
Oh, don't worry. Kink, kink. I'll take good care of your armor.
Yes. So Grakal is now naked, and it is beautiful.
Nice. Do you have
Elite.
like? Well, actually, if you're wearing full plates, you basically
Oh, yeah, that means I have chainmail under.
yeah,
Pet
every
armor.
yeah. Oh God, Maxime.
Maxime,
Mute
what are you
yourself,
doing?
please.
What am I doing?
Mute,
His
please.
confused face is hilarious, though. It was a very high buzz, high-pitched buzz and loud.
It's like your microphone was making contact or something.
Sorry,
don't know.
everyone. Sorry.
And
I
we're
like
awake.
these.
No, but yeah. So your full plate armor comes with a full set of padded armor. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Sweet.
yeah, otherwise you would have like
bummer.
bare metal on your scales that would not be comfortable.
Yeah, chafe. That's
Yeah.
that's
The
fair.
interesting thing about it is that during your sleep you can sleep in your padded armor, so you always have armor on, even if you sleep.
Nice.
You're always very fluffy. There you go. All right.
Alright.
As you set down the armor, the blacksmith turns back towards you and says, "You're in luck. I'll have a couple of hours tomorrow. I'll get it done by then. Tomorrow evening,
Yes.
repairs and all will be done.
We'll see you then,
See you then.
blacksmith.
You
Yes.
Dragonborn."
Grakal walks off again.
Triumphantly.
Is Allison
As-
around?
I would say so.
How much for having you make it already today? We plan to leave tomorrow.
Look,
I'm seeing Maxime frown.
the sun is already past its highest point. Like, what time are we talking tomorrow?
Midday? Is that possible? If it's not possible, that's fine.
Wait a second. Howard! Howard! The small, crony-looking guy comes. Yeah. What's up, Mason? You got plans for the night? No, not really. What do you need? We're working tonight. If they're ready to part with double the price.
Nah.
150.
I don't feel like that's worth it.
100
Like 1 extra gold is already like a nice
7 gold.
bonus.
6.
6 and we do it.
6.5.
6 is a lot, man.
6 and 2 silver.
Deal. 6 gold, 2 silver.
Shake his hand.
As like the coins are passed towards the blacksmith that you now know as Mason, he immediately gets like one of the 2 silver pieces and hands it to the boy. Here. Tink. Thanks, Mason. Tink. I gonna get back. Yeah, go do your thing. Okay. And he runs off.
He's a good boy.
He is. And that's why he's making money.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, midday, your armor will be ready.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Pleasure doing business.
You too.
And as you begin to walk further throughout the city, eventually, Iroh, as you begin to walk, you see what Violora had already told you about. You see this beautiful, large wooden building with like nice, large panels of glass all around at the top floor as well as the bottom one. This 2-story building filled with all different types of racks of clothing with all different types of colors, embroiderings, from high fashion to like somewhat more simpler clothes as you look in the back. However, what you can also see is that all the way at the back of this store, there stands this large counter with behind it an elf woman with a nice vest just doing her things. And besides her on the counter is this small little pedestal with on top of it this glass box with 2 beautiful boots inside them.
He can still hear us. He has his ears in, but you can continue talking.
And these boots seem to glimmer with beautiful green leathers and silver embroiderings. And The twinkle on the buckle is almost like winking at you from inside there.
I have to go in. I will walk inside the store.
Very well. As you walk inside fairy court fashion, let's go. There we go. You are immediately encountering a nice, cool interior where the outside was a very hot summer's day.
Oh, I'd love
And
that.
the first thought that runs through your mind is, how did they get it so? You walk through a small little hallway and eventually turn to your left inside the large open area of this building, where you can now see on your right the display case with these beautiful boots in the far corner, and like the different racks of clothing. As not the elven lady on the other side, but actually a smaller figure walks up to you. A halfling himself, in the same nice little vestwork of green with a white blouse underneath it with like a nice golden trim at the end. He seems both stoic but also very fashionable and flamboyant. And as this halfling walks up to you, he begins to speak. Good afternoon, name's Declan. Welcome to Fairy Court Fashions. What can I help you with, sir?
A very good afternoon. I happen to see some boots.
Ah, our crown jewel.
Oh, yeah.
If you are interested, these...
Yes, very much.
Do the rest of the pack members walk into the store as well? Or
How highly would
are
I,
you guys...
How highly would I praise these boots if I look from outside?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me, real quick.
Like, my family's into enchanting, like, massively. This is something I might know. 28.
28? Ooh. Oh, they look very nice.
Very expensive as well.
Hard to say from this distance.
I'll walk in.
Very well. As you guys walk towards it, as this small halfling named Declan is already like almost pulling Iroh towards the display case. One of the crown jewels of our store, actual boots of elven kind crafted in the very Feywild itself. These little puppies will not only make you the most stylish belle of the ball, but also grant you a nice little bonus if you would like to obscure your presence a little bit.
Ooh.
Indeed.
I like that they're elven kind, guys, but we're not really the stealthy kind. I'm not sure if this is what we're looking for.
I'm just the opposite way. I'm like, they're elvish, but they do help with getting stealthy.
Yeah. Well, I also have to say that the price tag is pretty steep on these puppies.
How much?
100 gold pieces sharp. Allison,
Yeah.
go ahead
Cool.
and make a Arcana check for me, please.
That's a 20.
Oh, it's a lot of money. That's freaking cheap.
That's cheap, right? Yeah.
It's very cheap. Like, very cheap.
Can I read the face of this man?
Like,
if he's...
you had a natural 20?
Yeah.
You know, like the normal price range, like the quote unquote worth that you would give this and what your family would give them would be around 150 gold.
All right. Can I read the face, the man's face, if this is deliberate or if this is something that he's just unaware of?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I had a hero point, right, guys? Charlie?
I do not know.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you do.
I'll use my hero point. From a natural 2 to a natural 11, but still better. It was perception check, right?
Yes.
24.
24. As you look at this small deckhand, he just seems to be showing it to Iroh and watching intently for his response, as it seemed that Iroh was very intrigued with these boots. But other than that, you see no, as far as you know at least, no sneakiness or deception or things in his eyes. No.
Aro, can we do this?
Nope.
they're also more of a display item, to be sure. However, if these puppies might be a little bit too, expensive, might I perhaps guide you to our other wardrobes?
Yes, just a very, very quick minute. I take Arya outside. Just a minute.
Of course. We'll be here.
Can we actually not make it, or do you just don't want it? Because these things are hella cheap. We can resell them for at least 150.
We can maybe make it. Let me have a look.
Oh, I hate your voice currently so much.
This is in character, by the way. Allison just hates Iroh.
I do my best. We can make it. However, we're gonna have like, if I just shift some money around, we're gonna have 17 gold pieces left.
17.
Yep.
That's plenty. We can basically, if you would like, we would sell them to some other folk in this town for a lot more, if there are people around, and otherwise we can sell it later. Like common sense, if they can be sold here for 100 gold pieces, chances are very low that you can sell them to somebody else in the same town for 150. Probably. So we'll probably have to sell them somewhere else, but this is a great investment. Like, this is like a 5,000 euros investment that you basically make.
In that case, we're gonna do that.
I only see this backfiring. I don't know why. I have a feeling. But Grakal doesn't care.
All right. We make the investment.
Very well.
We don't. Can he show us around a little bit? Let's see if we can make an extra bargain.
Sure. Welcome back. So, is there any change in plans?
Would you care to show us around?
What is your deception DC?
20.
Elson? 20. All right. Sure. What might I interest all of you in? Is there a special occasion, perhaps, for which you need a little bit less combat-ready attire, but perhaps more of for a social gathering, or perhaps for this summer sun, you were in need of some protective headgear? We have a wide assortment of different hats in all different shapes and sizes, as well as different beautiful fibers that can actually be worn as summer's dresses in this warm time of year as well.
Given the nature of our party, I don't think dressing up, we don't have a gala or anything planned in the coming months. Do you by any chance have anything else that's magical?
Well, not really, I'm afraid. No, we are a house of fashion. That is our style, and that is our craft. Also, we have different tailors employed here within Dracena, who can work with the finest of materials. But the business of enchanting is not ours.
In that case, we'll take the boots.
I see. Very well.
Yeah. We will.
Very well.
And basically take the coin,
Great.
the purse, put it in the table.
And like the elven lady who until now was just like scribbling a little bit in her book, doing a little bit of bookkeeping, eventually just opens the bag, begins counting all the gold pieces, begins to inspect most of them. Also a little bit like every one she picks up, puts down, and eventually you can see that you have stacked in very many different sizes of coins, because I think you will also be paying in a lot of silver in this endeavor.
We will be paying in. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, I did calculate this right. We are going to be paying in.
I hear him so much louder than everyone else. It's terrible.
You love it. I know it. We're going to be paying in 90 gold pieces and 1,000 copper.
1,000 copper. Okay, so as you get out this purse of coins, you get like like a couple of gold, and eventually there's 90 gold, and then you have to get into your bag of holding, and eventually like, shh, copper.
You've made an enemy for life.
Copper. And eventually, after it's counted not once but twice, all of the copper pieces are. It checks out. Go ahead and make your sale, Declan. As the elven lady is a little bit pissed that Declan made this sale right now. However, as all the coinage disappears in this large chest that is then disappearing underneath the counter, the glass cover comes off, and the 2 boots are handed to yours truly, Iroh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Iroh was the one paying, wasn't he? Or
Doesn't really matter.
oh, like the one that comes with all of the coinage would be the one to purchase it. So
Now I am. So, can you tell me a bit about this boot?
I can. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Of course, like Declan already tried to go ahead and explain what they do, but no, you guys are just exiting the premise and are now the proud owners of Boots of Elvenkind.
Ooh, nice. All right.
Sweet.
Nice, guys. Good job.
That was a good
Proud of
purchase,
you.
guys.
And as you step outside of the store with this beautiful assortment of 2, count them, 2 boots,
A pair!
you are greeted once again by the hot summer sun and the streets of Dracaena. Right now, as you have seen many different small stalls of different types of herbs, all the different types of food, different fish that can be caught in Dewgather Lake. You have went to a blacksmith where the armor of Grokal is now being customized, and you are the proud owners of a new magic item. The sun is setting slowly but slowly. You are now around, I would say, 5 o'clock. Make it 4:30.
Want to go for a swim?
Yes.
We go
I
for
think-
it.
Most
heard that.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
We're gonna go for the swim.
Very well. All right.
Sweet.
By the way, does someone wear the boots, or because once you wear them and you get attuned to them, then you actually get bonuses, of course. So that might be something.
Who wishes to attune to these things?
Are these boots made for walking, guys, or just for selling?
Both.
I'd be walking.
Sweet.
The
You'll be
best way
walking
to
in them.
keep snakes from my feet.
Iroh is gonna be walking them. Iroh is gonna be
Right.
a selfie boy.
Okay. So as you enter into the boots, you do feel like these boots are like how you get a new pair of shoes and you also have to like walk in them a couple of times before they actually fit your feet. You have like this like almost intuitive feeling that these boots, they have it even more so. And you feel like if you are long enough in them, then you could actually, like via Laura explained, attune to them and get those boots in line for you to get the magical effects. But for now, you are wearing very stylish green-silver boots.
I enjoy this very much.
Maybe
They're a little bit large right now. However, with every small step that you take, you would swear that the boots begin to shrink a little bit to fit your feet better.
nice.
All right, we continue
Maybe a
walking.
good point for a little break.
Very well. Then, as Iroh is walking very stoutly in his new boots, we will go ahead and take a short little break because we are dying of heat. So this session we will be taking 2 short breaks. We will be back in 10 minutes at 8:20 to continue the second of this 3-part session. So, as Dracaena is opening all of their doors for our heroes and shopping is commencing, let's see if we can get to a nice little cold dip in the lake.
Yes. Okay.
See you guys
see
soon.
in a bit.
Cheers.
Soon.